Hello and welcome to Gavilan Connects. I'm Esmeralda Montenegro Owen. Thank you for joining us. Today I have a guest who is dedicated to being a vocal community activist with important campaigns and issues that he's especially passionate about. Here with me is Todd Son Growth, and he is an activist and founder of You Should Quit, an organization that inspires people to stand up for a cause or for themselves. Thank you, Todd, for joining us today at Gavilan Connects.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
And I just found out that you are also a Gavilan College alumni.
Yes, that's correct.
So you're coming back home.
Absolutely. It feels good to be back here, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and I appreciate you guys having me.
Well, it's great. You're an activist. You're working to improve the community in various ways. You're now at San Jose State University.
Correct. I'll be back there next semester. Finish the last couple classes for my business management degree. So.
And what are your goals once you finish the university coursework? You have this campaign, You Should Quit. Mm-hmm. Tell us more about it and how the community can get involved.
Okay, well, the name itself, it's a bit tricky. I know a lot of times that's what kind of catches people right off the bat is what is You Should Quit? That's the big question. And sometimes the business itself is pretty complex. There's a lot of different aspects involved in it, but the actual name itself, it came from a time in my life where I had been pretty successful at the age of, from 16 to 21. I had built up a lot of financial stability, and I was in the process of buying a home and a brand new Mercedes-Benz and all this different stuff. And what happened is I was very involved in the stock market. I was in the process of buying the house. I decided to put all my money back into the stock market. Really long story short, lost a bunch of money. And obviously I didn't do the house, I didn't do the car, or anything like that. But what happened is I had, after losing the money, I had lost actually one of my jobs as well. And I really got to this point where I was at rock bottom in my life. And what I tell people a lot of times is the best way to get me to respond or to do something is to tell me I can't do it. And the name You Should Quit, it's more of a mantra. When I was at that lowest point, when I felt kind of the world was against me and I didn't really understand why these different things were happening, I literally looked in the mirror one day and just told myself, like, you know what? You should quit. Give up on your hopes, give up on your dreams, give up on your family and everybody who's ever counted on you to be great. And by doing that, it's kind of just calling you out and saying, you know what? Give up, quit, and pursue a path towards normalcy rather than greatness. And that right there in itself was a challenge for me to actually come back 10 times stronger and wiser and use all those experiences actually as learning experiences and not only just grow and create a business, but actually grow as a person and be able to help and inspire a lot of people through my journey. So that's kind of where the name came from. And it's kind of tricky for some people, but I mean, once they understand it, once they read the blogs, once they get into the website, then they do understand a lot more about it.
So then you literally had to just talk to yourself in the mirror and just, and sometimes we do need that realization that we need to just look at oneself in the mirror and talk and say, are you serious? Are you really going to stay this way and not recover?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of power in reflection. That was one big difference in my life to make a lot of different changes. I really needed to reflect on where I came from and my foundation, my morals, my values, and my core, because I had strayed from that when I was on a path towards just really wanting financial stability and to be successful just financially, when really I think how one defines success, a lot of people define it differently. Now, as I used to look at it, success as far as acquiring material things.
Exactly.
Now I look at it as more of the personal development and fulfillment and happiness.
Exactly, yes.
And so it really did take reflecting and looking in the mirror. I believe the mirror is actually a really big tool that you can see directly into your eyes, directly into your soul. And you can really, if you're just honest with yourself, then you can actually make some changes in your life.
And what happened to your friends, to people that were surrounding you during that time when you were really high up and then all of a sudden you found yourself at the bottom? What happened?
Yeah, that's it's funny how that works, because when I was at kind of, I guess if we want to say at the top, or when I was doing well, a lot of people just wanted to come and hang out, or they wanted to go, have fun or party or just kind of be around you. And really, honestly, if we were just going to call it for what it is they were trying to use you because they know that you'll take care of the tab, or they know that you're going to buy this or buy that, or you'll take care of them. But what really is funny is that through a process of when you kind of, when things aren't going well and times get rough, you really do find out who really does have your back. And I'm extremely thankful for my family and a core group of friends, because what I did notice is that a lot of those people that I was running around with for a while and having fun and stuff, they all disappeared. And really that my family, my mother, my father, my brothers, and of course a core group of people around me, they were really the only ones who had my back and supported me and wanted to get me back on the right path.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of youth go through. Sometimes they cannot tell who are their real friends, and they feel like the more you have, the better. But it's not like Facebook that you can have these hundreds and thousands of friends, but who are they really? And are they going to help you and lift you up when you need them? So that's it's great that at a young age you were able to find that support with the people that matter most. Your family and your close friends.
Absolutely, and I'm sure as you can relate, as you grow older, you just begin to realize that more. And so, like I always tell people, I'm extremely thankful for the certain circumstances and the way that things happen, because I feel at a young age fortunate to have learned those lessons. So
then you should quit.
Mm-hmm.
So what can people find when they go on the website and check it out? And what is it that you provide?
So basically what it all came from, I've always enjoyed writing, and one of my real good friends, this was before I had actually decided that I was going to go forth with it 100%, because I always tell people my mind is crazy, and I'm one of those people at night who my mind just goes on and on and on, and I can't sleep until everything's out of my mind. And I found that through writing, she had suggested that I begin writing and just getting all my thoughts out. I found writing about literally everything to be very therapeutic and a way to have some sort of peace of mind. And so really what it all started with, the website, was the blog. And so I like keeping that as a central part of everything that I do. I always do a lot of writing. I need to do a better job of publishing more online, but I do a lot on Facebook and social networks and whatnot. And that's going to be a larger focus as I continue forth, because the writing is really where it all began, is where people connect to. And obviously business-wise, when you form those connections and those relationships, that's always when things become successful a bit faster. So the writing and the blog, that's one big focus. And then obviously the main way to monetize the actual business itself is through the products. So I have literally full apparel lines for men and women, all the way from t-shirts and hats to different bracelets that you see here.
Exactly, that you brought over for us to look at. So if we can get some close-ups so we can see all the merchandise.
So we have like yoga pants and sweats, those little bracelets, those are very popular.
I know. See, it goes with my outfit today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of the ladies like those. There are some colors for men too.
Oh, we love jewelry. And comfy pants as well.
Yeah.
Sweatpants and for the I guess this could be for both men and women, right?
There are some women who have bought that, but primarily men.
Yeah.
There's the hats. There's over 90 products online now, and I'm in a phase where I'm creating a bunch of different products, and a lot of really powerful messages will be on all the future clothes, actually, which I've done that on a few of the clothes now, but just want to switch directions a little bit.
Okay, so how did the idea of the merchandise come about?
You know what? It actually all started with one of these bracelets here, actually. I had one of these bracelets here is where it all started with. That was the first product. And it's funny, I've only told a few different people, but now I'll share it with everybody, is the Live Strong bracelets, Lance Armstrong and the yellow bracelets. Those had a lot of influence in my life. And I just remember a lot of times that I would look down at that bracelet and you find a bit of confidence. At that time, I was in high school, and a lot of people experience, trying to find out who they are and to find their way in the world. And that Live Strong was just something that gave me extra confidence, and to be like, live your best life and treat people well and do good. And that was something that I was real passionate about, and I knew it caught on very well. And I was like, if I'm going to start out, why not start with something that literally changed my outlook on my life? Because maybe that can do that for a lot of people through my company. So
perfect. And how is it going?
It's going well. It's going well. Of course, there's always going to be a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles. But I'm a very positive person, and I like using any criticism or any of those obstacles as motivation and fuel to the fire. One thing that I take great pride in and is one of the reasons I named the company that is You Should Quit is because despite any controversy or anything, that you're just going to continue to push and persevere and constantly improve. That's one of my biggest goals, is to just continually improve everything. I remember when I first started, I made this one shirt. It cost me like $25 to make, and it just said You Should Quit, and it looked absolutely terrible. And and then today, where I'm able to actually, I've learned some different design programs and whatnot, and the designs and everything look a lot better and a lot more professional. So everything just continuously improves, and I mean, some people will like it, some people won't. They all have the right to their opinion, but in my opinion, a lot of stuff has improved drastically from day one.
Yes, well, this looks great.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a short break,
Okay.
and then when we return, we will talk a little bit more about other benefits
Okay.
to the website, how people can help, and who are benefiting from the proceeds and
Awesome.
of the blogs that you are creating daily.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll be back after this.
Are you having trouble achieving your goals due to lack of proper resources? Can't find a quiet place to study? Then come to the Student Success Center, located in Portable 11. Here we create a proper studying atmosphere, well equipped with the technology you need. Need some help catching on your homework? Sign into a quiet room where you can successfully focus on your work. Backed up on class credits, or you're not taking the right classes? Here, you can talk to a student success counselor that can talk to you through the right college credits.
Chapman felt the court had no jurisdiction to prosecute Wairigi.
We're live in San Jose. I'm Damian Trujillo, NBC Bay Area News.
Sus raíces fueron del campo, ahí empezó él. Ahí empezó.
The majority of Americans don't come from the fields of Salinas in blistering heat and reach the pinnacle of a given industry.
My dad was called a bracero. He came here during the Korean War, second wave of the bracero program. Sometimes I wouldn't see him because he worked out in the fields, and sometimes that required him to get up at 2 in the morning and turn the sprinklers on.
No teníamos para darles todo lo suficiente.
Since he was a little boy, we knew he was not going to be like the rest of us.
To see a young man who comes from this background, whose family had to work just to struggle to survive, but instilled in him the value of getting an education.
If I failed in school, the consequences were I'd go back in the fields, and it scared the living daylights out of me.
He actually hand-wrote a letter to himself, a sign actually, and he taped it to his bedroom door that said, "I will be a TV journalist."
It took the industry a long time to hire
Their lives back together. Recovery
people of Latino, Hispanic, Chicano background.
Even when you think that it's dark, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We have to push, and it can be done, and Damien has proved that it can be done.
I want my kids to know what it's like. This is what Daddy used to do, Mommy. Yes. When the camera lights go off at 6:30 after my live shot, it's not over. It's never over. There's a lot of work to do still.
And what you just saw was a trailer for a documentary about a local journalist and his struggles towards becoming a now broadcast journalist here in the Bay Area. And you can see that trailer and actually the documentary at the local NBC station. So check the listings for times. It's a good one. And we continue here with Todd Son Growth, and he is the founder of You Should Quit. And there's so much that you're doing with this campaign. And I wanted to ask you about, going back to the blogs that you were mentioning and the followers. What kind of feedback have you received from them? Is there someone that has been touched tremendously by following you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I find the most rewarding, honestly, well, aside from feeding people and helping people that way, are really the testimonies and the feedback that you get. I get a lot of feedback online, obviously, through emails, there's phone calls, there's text messages, and then there's also, you know, anything on your social networks. And a few of the ones that do stand out was actually a relative of mine, which made it even more special, is that she had read a piece that I've done, like about just finding who you are and really just treating one another good and whatnot, because it's a real strong theme through a lot of my writing.
Right.
And she had told me that it actually helped her really start to communicate with her husband and really save their marriage. That was something that kind of took me off guard, because I wasn't expecting it to have that type of impact in somebody's life. I mean, there's been a whole host of people that just say that it makes them think differently, and that's one of the biggest goals actually of the whole business and the whole business model with the blog and everything, is to really, I mean, I'll talk about a lot of subjects that a lot of people will talk about, but I like kind of giving it a twist and putting it in my own words and really making people think in a different way. I know Oprah calls it an aha moment.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff that I've written in feedback that I've gotten back that really have made people just be like, wow, I've never thought of it that way. And it actually, what I like is that it actually makes them make changes in their life. And I tell people that you know, once you're aware of something, or if something gets brought up to you in a different, like you've never really looked at it in that light before, that if it affects you, then it's going to affect the people around you, and it's just it's all circular.
And that must be fuel for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
To listen to these testimonies and just getting that satisfaction of, wow, I am actually doing something that is great and has impacted not only one life, but you know, a lot of lives and families as a whole. So it's great that you need to continue doing this.
Thank you.
Because it's, you know, sometimes people just need that type of or outlet, and for someone sometimes to talk to them in a certain way, and you know, to be able to for themselves realize, okay, this is a solution that I need to come up with.
Yeah, I think it's very powerful that people can. What I like about the writing is that it's therapeutic for me, but at the same time it gives voice to a lot of other people.
Right.
I'm really outspoken. I always have been, so it's easy for me to speak out. But a lot of people, they have a harder time speaking out and putting themselves out there for any type of judgment. And so they find comfort, or they find strength or inspiration in those words, and they can relate to it. So, because a lot of people, and even when it comes down to, it can be sexual abuse or whatever it may be, they feel alone. And I think that any type of, you know, I read a lot of blogs, and I find a lot of stuff that I relate to, and it inspires me, and I just hope that I can do the same for a lot of people. So.
Yes, and you are doing it, so that's great. So just need to continue doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were talking about You Should Quit and the merchandise that is sold in the website, and we have been putting the website up, so check it out and purchase some of these items, because they go for a good cause.
Absolutely.
And tell us about the charities that you're helping with the proceeds.
So when I first started the business, it was a whole process. It took me a long time to start it. I always felt for a long time, my parents would always ask me, actually, they'd be like, well, when are you going to start it? How are you going to start it? Just get it up and running. And I always told them that I felt something was missing. And what I really wanted to do with the whole business from the beginning was make a focus of helping people. And so what I added that really took the business to a different level, kind of last minute, actually, probably about a month before I decided to launch everything, was the charitable aspect of it. So I looked at companies like Tom's that people are very familiar with. I looked at Street King Energy, which is 50 Cent's new one, where they adapt the business model of 1 for 1, where you may sell, like Tom's, they sell a pair of shoes, and then they help, you know, they give away a pair of shoes for every single one that they sell, which is amazing, and I absolutely love it.
Definitely.
But me, I like looking at things a little bit differently, and I'm like, you know what, there's bigger problems in the world than people without shoes. Like, I think that's amazing that they do that. I don't want to knock it at all. But I do know that 20,000 children a day die of starvation, which is, to me, I can't understand that with the amount of technology and resources that we have in the world. But it's sad, and it's a true reality. And I wanted to take that business model that Tom's has and really take it to a different level. So when I tell people that a hat can literally feed 100 people, or yoga pants feed 100 people, it's kind of hard for them to understand the magnitude of that until they will actually see 100 people that don't have a meal that night, and they say, hey, by buying a hat that's $25, you can actually provide a meal for 100 people. So that's one of the bigger focuses, and literally everything online right now does go towards feeding people, and the business itself has been up for about 8 months, and the goal was to feed 100,000 in the first year, and it's been up for 8 months, and it's been about 65,000 people. I just crossed that the other day.
Yes.
So
Wow.
I'm extremely proud of that. There still is a lot of work to do, and as I go into these different causes, it will be a little bit slower, but it's definitely going to be a focal point of my business on the starvation end.
Well, it looks like in 8 months you have acquired a lot of support so far, and you're, over 60,000 people that you have helped. Wow, that's.
I'm proud of it, absolutely.
Oh, you should be, yes. And you have 4 more months. Imagine what's going to happen in the next 4 more months, and the years to come. And yes, that's a huge problem, and not only in the world. Starvation is a huge problem here, in our backyards, in the United States of America, and so many children, so many families as a whole, they're go to sleep hungry, and it's those things that you really do not understand, but all you can do is help. And this is it's great that you have this organization, this campaign to help these families. And there's an event coming up in November.
Yes, that's correct. So November 17th, this is one of the new causes that I'm going in with the company. I'm making it what I don't like sometimes is being boxed in. I've never liked that ever in my life, and sometimes I feel through the business that I have to kind of stay boxed in to just you should quit and whatnot, and just having that tagged on everything, which I absolutely love, the you should quit and everything it stands for, but at the same time it boxes me in a bit. And so what I wanted to do is a part of the website, obviously, is decide to take on some different causes and tackle some different social issues as well. And one of the big focuses now is on gay rights. I've joined Mark Shepard in his campaign called Legalize Gay, and I've taken the picture on Facebook. There's over 1,000 people in that gallery now, and so it's gained a lot of popularity. But I really, really, really like what it stands for, and how it's all about equality and loving one another despite their sexual preference or their orientation. And it was an opportunity for me to really express how I felt, and I felt the business was at a point to where if I do stand up and speak out exactly how I feel, that my existing customers, there are going to be some that don't like it, and I will lose some of them. But I was at the point where I was like, you know what, my business is at a point now where I can say exactly what I say and follow my heart. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to take this on 100% and tell everybody out there that I do support gay marriage, that I do support equality and love. And now we're releasing a bunch of different items that say literally I support gay marriage or legalize gay and so on and so forth. But we're having an event on November 17th at the Vault in Hollister. The time is still to be determined, but it's going to be a very powerful event. We're really excited about it. I'll be speaking. There will be a documentary. Mark himself will be speaking as well. He's the founder of Legalize Gay.
Okay.
And it's a whole new direction and just literally another step towards helping a broader scale of people.
And they can also go on your website and get this information.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you go on the website for You Should Quit, and you'll get this information about the event on the 17th of November, and you can get involved in that way. If you're local here in Hollister, it's close by, you can go, or you can also purchase merchandise and help the different causes that Todd here is involved in. And it all helps the community. It goes back to the community. So it's you get involved, you help in big ways. So you make sure that you take down that website and contact Todd if you have any more questions, or join the blog as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I highly encourage everybody to read the blog. I actually have some articles this week and next week that I'll be posting that are very powerful. And again, I want to kind of make, aside from the different causes and the clothing and everything, I still want to just reiterate that is the main focus of everything, the writing and really connecting to people and making a change just through the power of your words. So.
Oh, definitely. Something different besides just texting, right?
Yeah,
actually
absolutely.
Having a real thought and expressing yourself a bit more in a lengthier way. So, and also to wrap it up, your future plans.
Future plans. Future plans with the business, obviously, is to just continue to grow and expand. Obviously, the more support that I get, which I greatly appreciate all the support I have so far, it's been amazing. But as I continue to grow and expand, and you get into more stores and you do more speeches and more fundraisers and all these different things, obviously it's literally just the more people that I can help. So I tell people, by helping me and supporting the cause, and it's literally just going to be helping more and more people, and it kind of snowballs. In my personal life, I tell people a lot of times, and it's a cornerstone of the business, and once people do research and they dig deeper into it, everything that I do, it literally comes down to fulfillment, happiness, and love. Right. So through my business, I get a lot of fulfillment, which I tell people it kind of just consists of when you're giving and when you're growing. Like I've grown a lot as a person through this business, through learning experiences and whatnot, and I've been able to give a lot. So happiness and fulfillment is a bit of a different thing. Like happiness, I'm happy a lot of times every single day, but fulfillment is different, and that's what gives you ease or like a peace of mind at night and allows you to sleep and know that you're doing well and you're contributing to society. Right. And then obviously love is what connects all that, and that's really what I'm focused on the most, to be honest with you. The business is a humongous priority, but really living my best life and helping the people around me is what's most important.
Well, thank you so much, Todd. That's a great message to end on this half hour. We really appreciate you coming to Gavilan College,
Thank
back
you very
home.
much. I appreciate it.
And we wish you all the very, very best, and we're very proud of what you're doing, and
Thank you.
and lots of successes. And thank you for watching, and make sure to stay in touch with Todd. He's the founder of You Should Quit. And in a couple of weeks, we'll have a new Gavilan Connects. See you then.